am bringing to the stage Midnight Ace Book Bar. And let me tell you, that name, Midnight Ace Scotty, it sounds more like a detective series to be a detective. I think you should get into the persona, have your trench coat and your little hat to go with it. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing well, and thank you so much for this weekend. I was like a manic trying to get all of those panels in and listening to everything. I probably neglected everything this weekend, so I'm gonna have to play catch up this week.
Indeed. Well, we're gonna do it a little differently in November when we do. We're gonna have another set of authors coming through, and we're gonna have it where people have some breaks in between, because the tribe was on me about, Lisa, there were no breaks for not just you. You don't need, you may not need a break, but the readers need a break. So I like the marathon, but I get it. So we're going to do a breakfast, lunch, dinner format. We're going to have Sister Betty perform earlier. We're going to do the games earlier. So there's gonna. I see you stuck around for the games and everything. So
yeah, I enjoyed myself. I really did. I mean, I neglected stuff, and I'll catch up. But I'm glad I didn't miss it.
Me too. I'm glad. So, how long has there been the Midnight Ace Book Bar, and where did you come up with that name? That is so cool.
So the name, the Midnight Ace Scotty name came from me being on social media, and I'm not really an open book kind of person. So the names is just kind of my tag name that I came up with just to be, incognito. So when I had an experience with Amazon where I was truly reading and reviewing, and I thought that was what I was supposed to do to support my African-American authors and everything. And so I was getting shut down at every turn. So I went and said, you know what, forget this. I'm going to make my own platform, and I'm going to say and do whatever I want to do, and everything. So this birthed the Midnight Ace Book Bar. And I was just looking for something because I like books, I like wine, and I like cigars. And so initially, when I initially came up,
she's speaking my language right now, so we need to get together.
Right. So initially, when I started it, I was going to do live virtual wine tastings, and I was going to do some etiquette for cigars and everything like that, but it didn't pan out that way. So I just redid my site. And so there is a platform now for live wine tastings and pairing them with books. And actually the segment is called Books and Booze. So stay tuned for that. So basically I am like your book babe. Like, you write the books, I read the books, and then I shout you out. Kind of, that's just my motto, So I love to read, and I'm in the process of redoing my bylaws on reviewing, because I'm a one-woman shop, so I don't have anybody reviewing with me. But I do have, I am rewriting the bylaws now so that, when you come to my site, I won't be able to take everything at one time, but
period.
I'll be able to do everything at one time, but I will put you on the list. And I read everything. I'm kind of stuck in the romance genre right now, but I read almost across the board, paranormal, romance, mystery, just only thing I won't read is ghosts. I mean, not ghosts, but witches and ghosts, really. So pretty much everything.
Okay, now you got me questioning. Why not witches and ghosts? Because that's a form of paranormal. So there's some paranormal you won't.
I don't know. I mean, not to say that I won't. Like, I'll try it. Like, if someone comes to me and say, if I read a synopsis that catches me, I'll probably do it. And once I commit to it, I'm there. I gotta finish it. But that's just typically some of the things that I just don't gravitate to. So not to say that I won't. Never say never.
Okay. So your top three reviews, the ones that have stuck with you since Hector was a pup. It could be way back in the day. It could be something current.
You know, I'm gonna do the last, well, I have a couple that just kind of hit me, you know, gut punched me just recently. So I got off NetGalley this book by this Jaquans and Ashley, and I think they're a husband and wife duo, and they have a spinoff of their cartel series, and it's called Money Devils, the book one. And I want to tell you that that book had me so anxious and, you know, just heart palpitations and everything, because it's like the cartel and, you know, that kind of thing like that. So I really, really, really enjoyed that. And when I get some time, I plan to go back and read the rest of the series to get me up to date. And then I recently read two books, Exquisitely Broken and Exquisitely Hidden. And it was just like dysfunctional group of people who were, they were in a group home, you know, abused and everything, but music was a way to get them out. And they, you know, became a very prestigious band and, you know, was on top of the world. But one of the books was a male on male romance. And I don't typically gravitate to that. But I want to say that this author wrote that story in such a way where it was just, I don't think I will forget that easily. So those are my three. That was three. Okay. And I think, and now I am reading, I beta read as well sometimes. And so I am beta reading Iris Boland's Hearts United is the final book in the Heart series. So I am kind of halfway through that and I'm enjoying that. So.
Okay. Have you done some beta reading for her before?
Yeah, I do. I do a radio show with her and another reader. And on Wednesdays, it's called Iris Moments. It's on Cruise Inc. Radio. And it's Wednesdays nights at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. And so I do some other things with her and I do beta read with her quite a bit. So, you know, but not all the time, not every beta.
Indeed. You've got some fans in the audience. Anna Black said, hey, Midnight Ace.
Oh my gosh, Anna.
Karen
oh gosh,
Bradley said, hey. And Deanna, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Michelle
Sims.
Michelle, you know, much love.
Yes, that's Miles Moore's godmother.
Yes.
Ah.
You know, the beauty thing about the books that you guys write, though, when I write, I really get into the characters and the scenes that you set. And every now and then, like the Moore family, you just kind of touch my heart and like they just become my family. So when I'm out talking about books and characters, a lot of people think I'm a little bit detached from the norm because I talk about these people like they are real, because they are real to me. So Miles has been my heart and soul since birth, really. So thank you for that family. Thank you.
Well, I had a quick question. How do you select the books that you review?
I usually read the synopsis, and if I know the author too, that's easier for me, but I do like to discover new authors. So I will read the synopsis and I will actually go out and search the author too sometimes, just kind of see, you know, what they've been up to, you know, that kind of thing like that. And then I will read, if I can find it, I'll read the synopsis. If I'm lucky enough to get the first 2 chapters or something, then, you know, I can decide from there. But once I see it, and if it's easy enough for me to get through, I usually just take it on, because I know that when an author sits down to write a book, you guys are opening up to us raw. And so I don't take that lightly, you know. And then once I accept a book, then it's that I am protecting your brand. So I'm very conscious of, you know, reading the story. If it's not good, or if I see errors or something like that, I'm not going to blast you out. I'll come to you, you know, in your inbox and say, hey, you know, did you know this or that kind of thing. So I protect the brand, and I appreciate what you guys do. I you know, I really do. I mean, I don't think I could do it, but I appreciate what you guys do.
Well, and we thank you for the thorough reviews and the timely reviews that you give us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No
Radio,
worries, no worries.
Radio says you're her favorite volunteer.
Yeah.
Great Midwest Book
Yeah.
Fest, so you're her favorite volunteer. You actually have been keeping up with the Knights of the Castle series.
Oh my gosh. I am in love with that series. I read the Kings of the Castle. I still have two more that I still have to read. But then you came right behind that with the Knights of the Castle, and I'm like trying to keep up with those things like right away. And then you almost made my heart stopped when somebody said you're going to be doing Queens of the Castle. So
Somebody let that out the bag.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm on that train. I got me a all transfer.
Yeah, that'll be next year, because we gave some time in between, and because I was like, okay, where did she come from? So I started seeing you on NetGalley, and the request was in for that, and I was like, okay. I guess I can give you, since you have been following, you will get the first sneak peek of the first book of the Queens of the Castle series.
Yes.
So hold on, let me share my screen. Okay, on the count of, here we go, 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Nice.
Oh,
Beautiful.
oh my gosh.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my
Now, okay, so all right, so I could keep going on and on and on as far as questions, but I'm just gonna wait.
It'd be best to wait, because we ain't got the answers yet.
You know, because like right now I see that cover and I'm already imagining, you know, what that's going to be about. You know, like, is that Native American? You know,
She is actually, Queen of Lahaina is based in Hawaii, and there's a history of Hawaii that I want to bring out that I don't know if people realize. There was an actual queen on one of the islands, and her brother had her in prison because he wanted to be in bed with the people who were colonizing Hawaii. So he betrayed her, and then they betrayed him. So that is the backstory, but her present day story, the woman on the cover is different, but I want to tell the history. So this is how the queens are going to be different, because Shakir's queen is from
Eritrea.
So his is queen of what?
Mine is the Queen of Asmara.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to do history. The difference in between, like we told the history of, in the Kings of the Castle, the history of Chicago areas. And then in the Knights, we did history of the areas where all the Knights are, if they were in Birmingham, if they were in Penn Quarter. We told a little bit of history of each one in there. So now we're going to tell a little more world history, because we also have a Queen of Curacao, which is one of our ladies from Holland, Sosere Felida.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to see what she has to say.
Yes, it's an amazing thing. So what is the best way for people to get in contact with you to get a review done by you? Or is it on your website? Is it social media? Or, because I see you at events more than everything. She's been especially if Beverly Jenkins is there. I see you almost everywhere. The romance genre, I think you hang out with the romance folks also.
Yeah. You know, that genre kind of, you know, you get in there and then every time you try to get out, they just pull you back in. They kind of sink their teeth in there. So, but that doesn't mean I don't creep out every now and then. But yeah, and it's been difficult for me too to be grounded a little bit. But for right now, just on my website, www.midnightacebookbar.com. And if you are looking to either advertise or you need a beta or review, there is, just fill out the link there in it, and I'll get back to you, you know, as soon as I can with that. And so I'm looking forward to doing, you know, more supporting, because again, that is what I love to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it just online, or do you also have a blog as well?
The blog is the website, yeah. So
Okay.
I blog on the www.midnightacebookbar.com, and I am on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even Pinterest. I'm starting to do a little bit more stuff on Pinterest at Midnight Ace Book Bar.
Okay, okay, that is awesome. The how can I say it? When you decide to put a review, have you put a review out there that, is there one that you kind of question and you put out there and then you said, I made the right choice? You know, that you kind of question putting a review because maybe you weren't sure how it was received, or, you know, you travel all these worlds with the authors and, you know, you want to keep, because authors can be kind of, and we shouldn't be, because I'm going to tell you about somebody, but it won't be on your time.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes some of the negative reviews has been what has helped the series, the Knights of the Castle series. I'm going to explain when April comes on. That's how she became our beta reader. So is there any time you second guessed putting up?
You know, no, not really. I'm very cautious about telling my truth about what I feel about the book, but I stay true to reviewing the book and not the author. And I think that's a kind of distinction that needs to be made sometimes, you know. So I am true to the book. And I think the only time I've ever second guessed, and like not really second guess, it was like, you know, I was kind of on the fence of a 2 and a 3 of an author because I just didn't think she connected the story well, but it was a great story and it had potential. It kept me engaged. So I gave a 3, but I don't, other than that, I mean, it doesn't matter if I know you or, you know, don't know you, I review the book and not the author.
Right. Because I remember, I think it was for one of, I'm not sure if it was the Kings or something. We got a 3 on one of them. I think the initial one, we got a 3, but it did not keep us from sharing review copies or making sure you got your widget for whatever, because the thing about it is everyone is not going to love what you do. You know, we see it one way, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of look at reviews, and when we get less than 5, I look at it and say, okay, how could we have done that better? And that's what I kind of look for in reviews, is like, well, like you just said, it was a 2 or 3 because she didn't tie it in well. You know what I'm saying? That's that for reviewers who are in, we got a lot of reviewers in the chat. That is very critical for authors. We need to know if you're going to put that out there and you think, okay, well, we're not, I look at it. There was once for Every Woman Needs a Wife, there was a guy that said, he gave me a 4, but he says, you know, the book was good, but the prose was painful. I was like, ouch. Well, I was a wordy writer, as well as I didn't understand about triggers, which means I dragged the reader through the valley of condition trying to tell my truth. So what have I done? What did I learn from that? I needed to scale back. So the authors, when you're looking at that, I look at reviewers like Midnight Ace, and she's telling the truth, telling her truth. And she comes from her view there. But I look for those little nuggets of, well, why didn't it get a 4? Why didn't it get a 5? And that is what I use to grow for the next book, you know, because we're blind to it. We're totally blind. We put it out there one way, you know, we tell the story one way. You guys are totally objective. You're not connected to it. You're not connected to us. You're not family. You're not friends. You can tell us the truth. We should be able to tell the truth without getting upset.
Right. And a couple of things too. I review on a 5 scale. So for me, a 3 is not a bad review. It just means, yes, it was a good book. I will talk about it in the companies of other readers, but it just wasn't a wow factor for me. But not to say for me, but it's not a bad review. And the other thing too is I think sometimes I've never been, I've never come, an author has never come after me about my reviews or anything like that. But I do know that there have been some people in my circle that they have come after with that. But, you know, again, I tell anybody who's reading or reviewing, you know, you have to keep a perspective. This is a book, it's a body of work, and you review the book or the work and not the author. And I think that's when sometimes people get a little too personal, and that's why I draw the line. That's just not right.
Right, and I like that. You review the book, not the author.
Mm-hmm.
That is key. Like, because if I was all up in my feelings, you wouldn't be getting no widgets. But you followed the entire, and there's some that get a 4, some that get a 5, some that get a 3. But I don't think we've hit a 3 again. So we have upped the scale of what you consider a wow factor. So when I said, oh, we got 4 from Midnight, that means something. You understand what I'm saying? When you're just throwing them out there, people just randomly, just constantly throwing out 5s. I look at that. When I look at somebody who's giving me a 1 review or 2 review, there was one lady that gave it a 1. And she's like, he's just giving out King of Arabia. He's just giving out husbands like that. Now that was just ludicrous. So, and then I looked at what she reviewed, everything else. She don't like nothing. So I couldn't take that one personally. But also too, if I look at a review and that's all they give is 5s, I don't necessarily feel as good about that 5.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Shavana said, that was a good question. I did one time give a review on how a character made me feel, and it was not good. I had to go back and change that. It was not fair to the author. Yeah. That's an amazing, thank you, Shavana. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, and then, you know, we're reading fiction too sometimes, and I think sometimes people go a little bit overboard, you know, with their views on that. I mean, this is fiction. I mean, of course, I wouldn't prefer an author go way outside the box. Like, you know, when you're doing your Kings of the Castle, and you're talking about Chicago, of course, you know, I live in Chicago, so of course I'm gonna pick up on those nuances, and I expect for you to get it right. But again, you know, sometimes it's you know, this is a story is meant to entertain you, and it, you know, it's fiction, and so don't nitpick it because, okay, so it's supposed to be King Drive, but you wrote, you know, King Avenue, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes people, you know, get a little nitpicky, but, you know, again, you guys, you do a wonderful job. And true, everybody is not going to like what you write, right? Mm-hmm. So we know that in life, nobody is going to agree with everything that we do, but you do an amazing job. You kick out books, you're able to do that, and people are buying them. So you got to be doing something right.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. That is. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm reviewing the book.
Yeah.
Not the author. I am reviewing
absolutely.
the book. That's my tag. That's the tag away and takeaway from this. I review the book, not the author. So my thing is, what's on the horizon for Midnight Ace? I mean, what other events are you what other virtual events are you going to be hitting this year?
Well, I'm going to be signing up for Radius. I saw that earlier today. So I was like, cool, I'm glad she's doing that. So I'm going to sign up for that. You know, I just, even though these are virtual events, my pockets are still hot. Like, oh my gosh, I got so many books I want to buy. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. So I gotta kind of scale back. But there is quite a few books that that's on my list from this weekend. So I don't even know what I'm going to do when I go to Radius thing. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm telling her, don't miss out. You know, we had to shift gears and do the Cavalcade virtually and try to figure out, this was new. And the tribe they have been a godsend. I could not have done that without the tribe. Just everything, even the stuff, you all saw me juggling stuff, but behind the scenes, they were doing the things that needed to do to make it smooth and pass the way it needed to. I mean, it just went. I mean, I really enjoy it. Tam telling tales. said, I would like to say I look for the 1-star reviews. If it's randomly there, I'll probably still read the book. It actually intrigues me more.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I try not to read any reviews prior to, I won't read a review prior to me writing my own review. But in order for me to pick up a review, it's not a deal breaker for me, because I don't care what everybody else thinks, because I may have something different. But sometimes I do look at those 1 reviews, and then I try to see if I can, if I can make a liar out of them. So,
I read the 1-star reviews because that is the place that I find if people have triggers. You know what I'm saying? If the author does not tell us, I'm telling you, the reader will tell us that they should have put a warning on this, or they should have done X, Y, Z. So that I only look for 1-star reviews for if it's too many grammar errors, too many typos, and I can't get through it and I can't enjoy it. But I look for the triggers as well. So I do look at those for that purpose only. Because if that person put in that work and put that synopsis up there and the cover is the bomb, I'm gonna take a look.
Mm-hmm.
But I do specifically, but actually one of my best reviews was for, was it good for you too? And that was a 3-star review, because she said it brought out her inner double standard. She said if it was a man doing it, she wouldn't have a problem. But in fact, it was a woman and it had to do with sexuality. And she said it was a good book. Her review, I posted that review. I didn't say who it came from, but I posted that review on my page. I sold so many books that night. It started a discussion straight down the line, because it was down the line. It was a good review. So how, once again, how can people get in touch with you?
The best place is www.midnightacebookbar.com. Again, I am on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at Midnight Ace Book Bar. And then also, if you care to listen, I am on Cruise Inc. Radio on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. And we just pick books and we just talk about them on the radio, and it's all about Black love in books and in real life.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We really thank you for being with us and accepting the invitation to come and chat with us, and our first ever reviewers and bloggers rock. And you're telling us exactly why I felt that this is something that we should have. And authors should probably look at this to kind of gauge some things and kind of put themselves in check, So I love this. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me, and you have done a wonderful job. You outdid yourself. I don't want to say this was better than the real one, but it was a great weekend. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I much appreciate it. And don't forget to drop your links in the chat for us so people can click and go there. So you can just drop it in the chat.
Okay.
I'm going to put you in the backyard, but you'll still be able to, yeah, there we go. And